What is up, my friends? Welcome to another Monday video here on CoolStuffInc.com. Oh boy, we got a crazy one for you. So last Friday, my article was all about Umori the Collector. Now, of course, Lurrus of a Dream Den, Yorion, those are the companions being most talked about. Obosh the Prey Piercer a little bit. But Umori the Collector has been quietly kind of creeping up on standard. There have been a number of mono green and green splash red, like Stompy style decks doing reasonably well in the Red Bull qualifier tournament, things like that. Again, I talk about all those decks on Friday on my article on CoolStuffInc.com. At the end, I gave a little teaser for this deck, and this deck is something else. You think of Umori, you think of permanents. You think of probably creatures. There have been a few enchantment Umori decks, a few artifact Umori decks. You don't think of instants, let me tell you. But a viewer to my stream, Million Little E, submitted a deck to me last week, and it was just unreal. The list that was in the article on Friday was similar to the list that was sent to me. This is my updated version of this deck, and it's actually pretty awesome. Realistically, we have a all instants deck. Now, of course, instants are very, very important in Magic. They're a huge part of the game. Counter spells, lightning bolt, removal spells, card draw, tricks, but you typically can't win the game with just instants. Instants are usually, a small piece of the puzzle that leads you to your big planeswalker or your big, creature or whatever your big finish card is. So playing all instants is quite the challenge. But thanks to Commence the Endgame, we actually have a pretty durable win condition that is an instant. Commence the Endgame, for those who don't know what the card does. 6 mana instant, can't be countered, very important. Draw 2 cards, then amass X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. So usually it's about a 5/5 creature you get out of it. And very powerful card, can't be mystical disputed. Can be cast on turn 5 if you play Umori on turn 4. Not that we're always going to do that. But just a pretty powerful card that's, a little weak overall in power level. But when your whole deck is synergizing towards it, it makes a lot more sense. So this is pretty much our only win condition. 4 copies of Commence the Endgame. And of course, Umori itself. Now, Umori, most of the time you're kind of playing your companion the turn you can, when applicable. You play your Yorion on turn 5, bounce all your stuff. You play your other companions, whatever. I can't think of them right now. But we're not always going to want to cast Umori on turn 4 in this deck, because we are definitely an instant speed draw-go control deck. We've got counter spells like Essence Scatter, Negate, Neutralize. We've got 4 copies of Mystical Dispute. Can't let Teferi resolve, let me tell you. And kill spells, Heartless Act, Drown of a Loch, Disfigure. A lot of kill spells, a lot of counter spells, a lot of card draw. And Umori might look like it doesn't fit very well in that paradigm. This is a sorcery speed format creature. Why do I want this card in my control deck? Well, it's free. It's your 8th card, which just makes it easy. And it's actually pretty sweet because if you cast Umori on turn 5, you have the ability to cast Essence Scatter for 1 mana, or Negate for 1 mana, or Heartless Act for 1 mana. You play it on turn 6. You can play Neutralize for blue, old school counter spell, right? And it allows you to double spell, and if you ever get to untap with it, now all your spells are cheaper. Now you're playing 1 mana Negates, and 3 mana Chemister's Insights, and 3 mana Aether Extinctions, and really starts to snowball your advantage. And of course, it's also a win condition, just a 4/5 creature. There aren't a ton of things that kill 4/5 creatures in the format. So pretty awesome. Super cool control deck. Now, I tuned this list up from the list that Million Little E had sent me. One of my big things that I really liked that I added was 2 copies of Mystic Sanctuary. Now, this is a card you usually see in older formats. Pretty broken with fetch lands, Cryptic Command, things like that. We don't have fetch lands, and we're playing a decent amount of non-islands, but the games go really long. And realistically, the ability to regrow a card like Commence the Endgame, or a counter spell or removal spell is actually very, very good. And with cards like Cling to Dust, we can kind of just cycle into it immediately, which is pretty awesome. So very, very cool addition. We need to make sure that we can actually win the game. So having extra copies of Commence the Endgame is really, really cool. And yeah, pretty sweet. So there are a few other ways you can go with this deck. You could play Warrant Warden. It would require a very light white splash, because Warden is even though it's a sorcery, as long as part of the card meets the requirement from Umori, it works. So Warrant is a decent removal spell. And then Warden is the threat. Later in the game, it's a flyer. Just like an additional threat you could play. Would not be hard to play like 2 of these and 1 planes if you're really concerned with having a few more win conditions. But I don't think that is necessary. Also, one blind spot we found when playing the deck on stream was that Castle Ardenvale is pretty good against us. We actually had struggled to beat that card. So we copies the field and really make sure we can deal with that one. Sideboard's got a ton of great cards. Disfigure for the mono red matchup. 4 Aether Gust for red and green matchups, obviously. Noxious Grasp, green and white. Just insanely efficient instance, which is really, really good. Tails End can counter Yorion and Planeswalkers, which is really cool. And Erebos Intervention for a little extra life gain and removal against those decks where you really need it. So, definitely a super cool deck. One of the more inventive decks I've seen in a while. And I'm stoked to play it. But first, quick word from our sponsor here at CoolStuffInc.com.
This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com. To learn more about this deck, click the link in the video's description below to read Jim's article.
Alright, round 1. Umori Instance. Let's do this. Our opponent is playing Lurrus of the Dream Den. So either cycling or some sort of kind of lower to the ground deck. Disfigure is great against both of those. Our Mystic Dispute's probably not going to be great, but we can definitely keep this hand. So we'll keep this. Good news is about Lurrus decks is they struggle to kill Umori often, so Temple of Malice probably means Rakdos Sacrifice. Should be fine for us, I would think. Heartless Act, definitely a good draw. So let's try. We'll bottom the Mystic Dispute. Don't really need that one. Mystical Dispute. And we're in pretty good shape here. A couple kill spells. We have Clingy Dust for Croxa. The Butcher is can't Heartless Act the Butcher, but we can Disfigure it, so we'll make sure to do that. I haven't drawn a land here, but we can definitely just fire off this Clingy Dust just to draw a card. Would require exiling our own spell, but I don't think that's like insane. Second Negate here, not great either. Good news is we have 4 Chemister's Insight to discard our cards that aren't good. So I think we're going to just play a land here and say go, with the intent to Disfigure the Butcher, and probably Cling to Dust our Disfigure just to cycle and draw a card and look for land number 4 here. Her Butcher's a pretty good card. Reminiscent of Slith Firewalker from back in the day. All my old school gamers that, I'm dating myself. I'm dating myself here. Turn 3, in the tank. Got my cool Marit Lattice shirt. Pretty sweet. You can see we're in the middle of moving. Of course, we just bought a house. We're fixing it up right now. We're renovating the entire house. And so half our stuff's here, half our stuff's there. Most of my days have been get up in the morning, work on the house for 10 or 12 hours, watch a movie with Nicole, and go to bed. So, nice to get away a little bit. Play a little Magic, which is pretty great. Just finished painting our first room last night. Alright, we're going to combat. I can stop stalling here. And they're just going to say go. So either they timed out. Yeah, they must have just timed out. So, that's really awkward, but we'll kill this. We're going to stick to the plan of exiling our Disfigure, draw a card. Again, we can't exile a creature. If you don't draw a card, then this is here mostly as a cantrip to draw cards. That's sort of like an opt with upside. Alright, so we draw an island, which is cool. And let's play lands, they go. I think we're in amazing shape now. I mean, they probably timed out and skipped their turn, which is just insane for our control deck. So, why do the lands look different? Like the bottom of the land looks different. It's interesting. Witch's Oven. I think we're going to snap negate this. I guess they have Lurrus, but we can always counter Lurrus. Not many negate targets available to us, and I'm pretty happy to just negate this here. We can kill any creature they play, and they probably play mostly creatures, so... Robber of the Rich. Okay. They had a Chemister's Insight. Adorable. We draw another Mystical Dispute. Alright, so... I mean, they currently have 2 in the bin, so our Drown the Loch's looking pretty good. We can get our island here. Once we have 2 black sources, always want to get islands for our Mystic Sanctuaries. And then we're just going to Heartless Act this right now. I don't know what they can do to punish us for not waiting, but do this now, get it in the graveyard, have Drama Lock ready, and just say go. And we want to try and cast Lurrus, we can just Drama Lock it and deal with that. They have another Witch's Oven. That is pretty annoying. I guess we could just negate this, and then they play Lurrus, deal with that. Yeah, that's fine. Sure. Drama Lock is pretty sweet. There is obviously some dyssynergy between Drama Lock and using Clink to Dust on their graveyard, but it's typically not a problem. They're going to Kroxa. We're going to lose Mystical Dispute, which is fine. Their graveyard's, filling up a little bit, but at a night. So they're playing everything. Pretty solid. Field of Ruin for Castle Lochthwain's actually pretty sweet. We also have Cling to Dust. We can flash back on the Kroxa, which is pretty great too. Cling to Dust is sort of like a weird card draw engine from our graveyard too, which is a pretty cool interaction. Can also just drown this knight and just say go with Dispute up, and I suppose they could just Kroxa at that point. We would just counter it. You need to have an answer to Lurrus. It's really important, and yeah, I think that the knight's not that big of a deal. We're just gonna say go here. Also would like to Field of Ruin this castle at our earliest convenience. So, few things we need to deal with here, but we have the tools to do so. Sacred Foundry. Interesting. So, no effects, just take 1. They're just going to castle. Interesting. Yeah, sure. That's hilarious. So they shocked off Sacred Foundry and castled to take 2 to pump their Knight Ebon Legion, which is fine, I guess. We're never going to field this castle. It's the most important thing, I think. And we might just kill the Knight also. Let's see here. Yeah, because Umori can't block the Knight. We need to deal with this Kroxa, too. I have a lot of things to deal with here. Yeah. I don't really love this, but... Watery Grave. Alright. And we're going to play Umori. We get to play Umori and have Dispute up, which is pretty cool. It's Mana Leak. Kind of doubt they have much like hard removal in their deck, so Umori should be pretty solid here. We're definitely a little light on cards. They're going to Kroxa, nix their whole graveyard. We're going to Dispute that, which is a pretty good use of our turn. And they've got 1 spell left in the graveyard. So we can Cling to Dust this Oven just to draw a card, and they can't Lurrus it either. Which is pretty cool. So, and now they're on a clock too. He's on tap here. That's a really good draw. All right. That's also a really good draw. Well, 1 good turn deserves another apparently. So let's just fire us off right now. Get rid of the Oven because I want to draw a card. Actually, hold on. I think I'd rather them have Oven. No, wait, never mind. Because we can. Right, so the problem is that if we kill the Knight, then they just get back with Lurrus. Might need to hold Disfigure for Lurrus, but let's see here. Let's target this. We'll exile. We do have a Mystic Sanctuary deck, so make sure we be careful what we exile here. I think this is pretty good. Let's draw a card. It's a Watery Grave. Not too exciting. mean, they can pump this knight pretty intensely. They can just attack and pump it twice. Pretty bold, I guess. But all right, let's attack. And now playing the land makes Insight a little worse, but we're just going to play it, I think. Also makes Commence the Endgame a little worse, too. We don't draw any card draw this game. We have 4 Insights and 4 Endgames, but... So, how much are they going to pump here? I guess the problem with this is... Yeah, this might have been wrong. Now I can't Disfigure this because it's going to get the counter on it. But if I Disfigure, they would just cast Lurrus, so kind of a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other scenario. Alright, they're going to play Lurrus. And we are going to kill the Lurrus, because that's just a thing we've got to do. We're going to draw another land. Unfortunately, not really doing too good. I mean, they can just pump this thing twice and kill us, probably 3, 6, 7, 8. And they have Croxa floating too. We might need a jump block here, honestly. It puts the extra card in our graveyard for Cling too, so you flush back Cling, so... Then I have no targets for Cling that aren't a non-creature target, so I can't draw a card. Man, tough game here, tough game. Alright, I'll just say go. If we don't block, we take 8. And I don't think that's really okay, so... So again, we can Cling to Dust, but we would not draw a card. We'd only gain 3 life, which does not seem worth it, so... Man, we stink. Alright. I mean, I don't know how you haven't drawn a single card draw spell yet, but it's probably going to be the death of us here. Cauldron Familiar. Alright. Tapping red, red, black. Red. 4 mana in the pool. Rick's Maddie for that. So we get to use Dispute here. That's pretty cool. And now I get to Cling, too. So we can come back in this game, possibly. There's still only creatures in the graveyard, but we can definitely eat one of our own spells here just to draw. So let's eat. Doesn't matter. Everything's going anyways. Eat that. And wait, this is targeting. Hold on. Unclear what it's targeting. We'll eat our Heartless Act. And we'll exile everything but Heartless Act, thereby not fizzling the spell, which would really suck. So we draw a card and draw a card. So draw a card. Mystic Sanctuary. Draw a card. Cling to Dust. Well, that's pretty cool. Alright, so, yeah, pretty rough game there. We just drew literally all lands and no card draw spells. Tough game. Tough game. And unfortunately, the base black nature of Rakdos does not play well to our many sideboard cards like Noxious Grasp and Aether Gust. But, alright. Definitely need to take out these Disputes. And probably the Negates. Intervention's not great either. Bring in Disfigures, Erebos Interventions. Tail's End hits Lurrus and Croxa. And could, in theory, like, counter an ability maybe, but probably not super relevant. Aether Gust hits Croxa. Dreadhorde Butcher. Doesn't feel great. We do have a lot of slots, though. I mean, given that they have Lurrus every game, I was thinking Tail's End is actually kind of fine. And then let's leave in the intervention, I suppose, and I'll bring in like one Aether Gust. Tough game. Tough game. Yeah, we can keep this one. This hand plays. There's Scry at the bottom. Say go. It's also not a bad card, so not in too bad a shape here. Got intervention, Aether Gust if they have a butcher. Robber the Rich. I think I'm pretty happy gusting early and often, so just ship the Gust here. I'll leave it on top, sure. You draw another Mystic Sanctuary. It's a little awkward, but it is the third island, so this one's live. Sanctuary, so you go. Robber again, which is fine. Just disfigure that. And draw a Temple of Deceit. I don't think I want Disfigure or Aether Gust on top, so pretty happy to play Temple. Set it for Umori, hopefully. We have a Thassa Intervention as a counterspell if we want it. Just that I don't want Disfigure on top, so bottom that. Got small creatures under control for sure. Castle's good. And they're going to Croxa. Alright. Kind of annoying. Guess we're going to dump. It's like Disfigure or land. It's probably just Disfigure. Field the Road's nice. I might actually just field right now. Maybe a lot of cards in hand. We can, maybe we'll say field, play field and say go. Leave our options though. We can counter a spell, we can kill something, we can draw cards, you can field, you can do a lot of things here, so. Knight of the Ebon Legion. Just a good card. Hardcast Drill Bit. Okay. It's a little on the awkward side. I guess this is fine. I think we're gonna field them. I guess we'll just let this resolve actually. I don't want to give them a mana in their main phase, so just let this resolve. They're probably taking the Thassa Intervention. If they take Erebos Intervention, we'll just draw 2, which is fine also. Okay, so end of turn. We're going to hit the castle. Get ourselves an island. We can get a swamp, actually. We already have 3 islands, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's get a swamp. Play Intervention for 2. Draw Neutralize. That's a really, really good draw. So now we're like completely set up. Play Mystic Sanctuary. Put the intervention back on top. Play Umori. And now we have counterspell back up. So this is the this is what we're trying to do here. Despite being seemingly outcarded this game. Or a shock. Wow. Play Witch's Oven. That is going to resolve. Play Call of a Death Dweller, targeting Robber the Rich and Knight. So pretty good. We have to counter this. Let me draw Intervention. So now they have enough cards to Croxa, which is honestly kind of scary. But we can draw 2 cards and have with a bunch of mana up. So we can draw into a counterspell possibly. Play land. Play Lurrus. And the ability to play Croxa also if we can deal with Lurrus. So let's play... we're going to Intervention. And I suppose all of our cards... I like the rope is faster than usual. This would be a draw 2 with 3 mana up. You could also draw Chemister's Insight too. We could look at like 1 extra card. I don't think it's worth it, honestly. We could also just counter Lurrus, and then they'll just Crox us, which is pretty bad too. So, or just draw cards. Alright, so let that resolve. They cast 1 of them, we kill Lurrus in response. A little light on card draw here. Where are card draw spells at? You know? 4 Chemister Insight, 4 Commence the Endgame. We can't find them. I imagine they're just playing like Robber here. Robber, Knight, or Croxa. Yeah, let's play Robber. In response, we're going to kill the Lurrus, so they can't play the... Actually, I'm sorry, they only play the whole thing once. I guess getting robbed kind of stinks. We gotta kill Lurrus, though, so... This Crox is not in their hand anyway. Alright, we're getting robbed, we can't do anything about it. They don't eat to Extinction, which is actually pretty annoying because now the Robber can kill my Umori. So we need to draw a something, anything next turn. We did it. We drew a card draw spell. Play Chemister's Insight. Draw 2. Cling to Dust, Chemister's Insight. Okay. If we cling one of the cards in their graveyard, they can't Crox us. They would need another card to go to the graveyard. But I guess that they can get that off of their this thing. They can mill a card. It could just cling Croxa also, and they have basically nothing. Yeah. Let me just cling Croxa. They're going to kill our Umori, but... Yeah, let's draw. I guess we'll draw 2 and just forward, just see what happens. Alright. It's not like super ideal, but so we eat that. We gain some life. They get to attack with Robber, eat to Extinction my Umori, but realistically we're like pretty gassed up here, so... Oh my god, they drew Commence the Endgame. That's really, really annoying. Alright. So now you decide if they want to commence, draw 2, make a 3/3, or kill my Umori. I'm going to kill Umori, sure. So our goal is to draw a kill spell to kill this Robber the Rich. And they left their card on top and drew Gutter Bones. Alright. Start with Insight. Discard Swamp. How can we just not draw a kill spell for this robber? I'm just not doing it today. So they get to endgame next turn? Man, brutal. Alright, I guess we're just playing a land saying go, and we'll just cast Insight again. It's like a pretty hard matchup. Robber the Rich is very good against us. They have discard. All our creatures are black, so all of our sideboard cards don't work. All their threats are recursive. Just seems difficult. Alright, they had a land, sure. Take 4. Can't counter that one. What's going on? Hello? I don't know what's happening. Okay. Who knows? And Cauldron Familiar. God. Alright. Pretty not good for us. We found all our insights. We found all our insights. Oh, man. Yeah, I guess. Alright. I mean... Guess we'll inside again, look for Disfigure. Okay, I mean, that's definitely as close to doing it as it gets, so... Still have Cling to Dust. Doesn't really do a ton against Familiar. It kind of does. That's a good draw. Alright, I mean... We have Commence the Endgame for a nice blocker. If we're still alive, it'll be good. That's a pretty good draw. Will you stop playing things? Jeez. Cling to Dust. Alright. It's about to be a really good Commence the Endgame. We need to draw like 2 perfect cards in a row, I think. Just going to say go. Obviously, all of our cards are instants. So we could have played Commence in our main phase to make it a little bit bigger. But 6/6 or a 7/7 doesn't really matter that much. Alright, this is our spot where we can get the Familiar or the Cling to Dust if we want to. And I think we're going to. There's no food in play currently. Yeah, we're going to Cling the Familiar. Gain 3. Problem is we're trying to die of his Knight of the Ebon Legion, I think. Yeah, all their decks seem really good against ours, for sure. So a lot of their cards just seem like Knight's also just the kind of card where late in the game it's just like basically a 10/10. Probably need to draw a kill spell too. Heartless Act, something like that. I guess Drama Loch works too. I mean, just gonna need to be a good endgame here. Here they come. Commence the endgame. And 2 lights. Okay, to be fair, it doesn't seem like a great matchup, but I would say we have drawn pretty poorly this game. Alright, we're just dead. Alright, so definitely a tough first match there. Third deck seems pretty good against ours. Robber the Rich very good against us. Knight's good against us. Cat Oven's good against us. Loris is good against us. And we, unfortunately, our Aether Gusts and Noxious Grasps aren't great there. We have Disfigure and stuff, but it seems like a difficult match. I mean, obviously, we had just drawn some spells that game. Probably would have been okay, but let's just see if we can do a little better, right? Round 2. Remember, folks, I do a companion article to every video. You're right on CoolStuffInc.com. So you're watching on YouTube, hop on over there, check out the companion article. And you can check out last Friday's article, all about Umori, Stompy decks, and other decks as well. The Nazgul. Alright, opponent's playing Yorion. And our hand's not great, but it seems fine against Yorion, so we can keep this. Castle Ardenvale is very good against us. That is a concerning card. Which just seems kind of silly, but for a pure Drago control deck, Castle Ardenvale is tough. I think the blue-white control versions of Yorion are good against us. Better than like the Fires versions, which it looks like they are the blue-white version, which is bad for us. So, I mean, if they have a Teferi here also, we're probably in trouble. But hey, Field of Ruin. Alright, well that answers the castle, so Ferv, no Teferi here. Oh, they are Jeskai, okay. So there's Jeskai, Luca, which is fine. They also have some castles too, but not as many usually. Let's get our field in there, say go. Sure. Top, bottom, sure. Once you've dealt with the castle, Commence the Endgame is very, very good. We're a little light on answers to the ferry right now, but scry top, bottom. Want a little value off our shuffle. All right, so gotta kill this castle. The first version of this deck, we like deterministically could not beat Castle Ardenvale because our deck makes one big creature with Commence the Endgame. You can't make multiples, and if they just did nothing but activate Castle every turn, we like deterministically couldn't win. So adding field was a very important addition to the deck. All right, let's bring in we could cast Umori here, but it falls to basically everything, and it just leaves our shields down totally. So we're not in any rush here. Actually, with Commence the Endgame in our hand, so Cycle Triome, sure. Castle Vantress, not nearly as bad as Castle Ardenvale, so sure, just untap. Geronimo Loch, they currently have 3 in the bin, so it's good enough for countering Teferi, which is good enough for me. Don't think we have any interest in fielding the Castle Vantress because realistically we have to save it for Ardenvale. So it would be our 3rd island for Sanctuary, but I think we're gonna play it, but we're almost certainly not gonna use it. And now we're just playing the double counterspell game. We've got end step, Commence the Endgame, so we're looking pretty good here, I think. Certainly in no rush. We will probably have to discard the hand size on our next turn if we resolve Commence and don't play a spell. But Shark Typhoon for 4. So Shark Typhoon's pretty good. It's definitely a reasonable threat. Obviously, we can't counter it, but not the end of the world. We've got kill spells, you know. Very Time Raveler. So they're choosing this turn to start playing stuff. It's very unfortunate for us, given that we have Commence the Endgame in our hand and we want to cast it. And obviously, Teferi is like the antithesis to Commence the Endgame. But I think we're gonna, if we drown the Loch here, we can also eat to Extinction the Shark, which is a pretty big game. So we're just gonna drown here, even though it's a little less mana efficient. So getting 2 for 1 on a Shark, which is not great, but it's fine. Dispute can go on top of our deck. And now we could actually resolve Umori here, and we would double counterspell up. Which is actually kind of nice. Now, if they have a mystical dispute, they could force me to tap out. I guess we could still play Dispute and then still Neutralize up. Yeah, we're going for it here. Normally we'd be pretty happy to just hold up endgame, but this looks like a really good spot to resolve Umori. They're gonna sack an Omen, so weakens a future Yorion, but Yorion's obviously pretty unlikely to resolve. And now if we get to untap, we have Neutralize and Endgame. And fortunately, it's only two islands for our Sanctuary. But let's see if we can draw one next turn, obviously. So, bottom, sure. Feels pretty good. Ooh, wow, that seems awesome. Just saying go. Alright, we're not going to burn our Sanctuaries. We are just going to say go back. Well, we'll attack first, but suppose they could have another Sharknado, which would make a 5/5, which would be exactly enough to kill my Umori. Maybe we just say go. Honestly. Let's just say go. Things get really awkward if Umori's not in play, because right now I have Commence plus Counterspell up, so I'm just not going to attack. This is definitely very conservative, but alright, there you go. Definitely want that third island. I think we're going to crack off our Field of Ruin here. Elspeth conquers death with 3 mana available. Alright, so we're going to neutralize this. No longer cracking Field of Ruin, obviously, but alright. As Doctor Strange would say, we're in the end game now. Another Swamp and Sanctuary. You only have 4 swamps in our deck. Oh, there's an island. Alright, well now we can attack pretty safely. And this is a pretty big swing, so definitely an awkward spot here. Lands have come up really, really awkward. We have many more islands and swamps. We've drawn 3 swamps and 2 islands, which is kind of tough for us, making these Mystic Sanctuaries awkward. And I want to play an untapped land here too, but I also want to have access to Sanctuary next turn. I think we're going to play Watery Grave untapped, so we have Neutralize, Dispute, and Commence the Endgame again. This does put us a little precarious on life, but it's important to note also now that Commence the Endgame will not make a new creature. It will make this creature bigger. So, eggs, meat, basket. I missed the scry. I wish there was a way to see scries. I just wasn't looking for a second. I don't know what the scry was. It's really, really annoying. Arena's really missing that feature. Some sort of log you can pop up and just see what happened previously. Alright, we're 4. A second copy of Sharknado would be a problem. Or a third copy, I mean. They're going to cast Shadow of Sky, which is pretty interesting because I suppose everyone will draw a card, but they're going to lose their threat they're currently winning the game with. This is going to be fine. We're going to lose Umori, but I guess we can't. Oh, that's bad. So now I guess we can't commence and counter. That's pretty rough. But we couldn't really counter it safely anyway, I don't think. Alright. Now I gotta counter fires. Alright. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, we'll just dispute them. And we'll untap. Not a bad draw. So Mystic Sanctuary back. Probably a counterspell. We already have Commence the Endgame, so Drama Loch is currently just kicking it. Well, I guess it's weird because Mystical Dispute's pretty bad right now, but if we wanted the double spell, we could have disputed. Now we can't cast more than we can't cast Commence and more than one counterspell. So many lands to play. That was kind of tough. We don't have to play Commence this turn, so we have a lot of lands. Fires again. All right, so we are going to negate this. 2, 3, 4, 5. We could commence into. Yeah, we want to negate anyway, so. A little chonked up on lands here, but they're going to cast Yorion. Now, Drama Loch can just kill that, so I think this is fine. I should have commenced the response. I could have drawn a dispute. That was dumb. Alright, oopsie. Alright, our one card. The case card is not dispute, so. Heartless Act also plays. It's pretty good. I guess we'll kill this now while they're tapped out. I don't know why that really mattered that much, but. And Sanctuary back to the endgame. And say go with 2 counterspells and a lot of lands. Solar Blaze. This is fun. There are 12, but there's no reason to counter this. We have 2 counters and they have 2 cards in hand. We were drawing endgame. There's no reason to play like the Delver, protect my threat strategy. We're very happy with what's going on here. Now, we could just main phase this because they already know we have it. And we know we have 2 counterspells anyway. That would leave us with exactly enough to play Neutralize and Drown. And it would make it a little bit bigger. I don't know if that matters. So it'll be a 7/7 rather than a 6/6. Or 12. They gain life at all? Whatever's doing now. I can get us to Heartless Act. That's pretty cool. Alright, let's just slay lands. There you go. I suppose they could shatter us again, which would be annoying, but that's the one downside. Yeah, we should have waited. We should have waited. I didn't consider shatter. So obviously Teferi we're going to counter anyway, but shatter is a reason to wait. Castle Vantress, scry 2. Also have Cling going now too. Bottom, love to see it. Luca. So a naked Luca. Which really doesn't do much by itself, realistically. I'm tempted to allow this to resolve. They will plus it and have to hit exactly Asian Treachery, otherwise it doesn't do anything. And we should attack it. And they play anything that makes tokens. Oh, they could cycle a Shark Typhoon. How does it stack? Cycling. I think they make the token before they draw a card, so I can kill the token before they get the chance to do it. That's fine. I think this is fine. So if they have Shark Typhoon and they cycle it, the draw will still be in the stack by the time the token's in play, and they won't have priority to use Luca, so we can kill it with our Heartless Act. So this is fine.
Always loyal.
And they're not even going to activate it. Sure. So we're going to Cling to Dust, targeting some non-creature card. Probably it's Fairy, I guess. Draw a card.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
Mystical Dispute. You probably want to flash us back. I mean, I don't see how they can punish us at instant speed. Let's exile. I guess Sharknado, whatever. Removing now all of our Mystic Sanctuaries are accounted for, so none of that really matters, I suppose. Whatever, that one and that one and that one and that one. Well, I guess they could have had... that was a mistake. I should not have done that. They could have had the White Omen, which would have resolved, chump blocked, and then they could have Lucid. Yeah, that was a mistake. I should not have done that. Okay. So I should have just waited. There's no reason to cling to Dust there. Kill Luca. I think we're actually going to field their thing. This is not going to work out too well for them. Scry bottom, then shuffle. I guess we can seal... just play it, whatever. I Field of Ruin, just they go. I think this game is pretty firmly in the books at this point. Opponent agrees. Cool. Take that, Jeskai Luca. Alright, so... we're going to want... we can upgrade our removal here. So Disfigure is just bad. Heartless Act is not great. And Noxious Grasp kills everything the Heartless Act would anyway. Want a Tail's End. And... I mean, Aether Gust, like, has some play to it, given that they are playing fires. I kind of don't hate Aether Gust. Like, Eat to Extinction is like a little over the edge. We already have 4 Noxious Grasp and 2 Drama Locks. Killing Teferi is important. And we got to kill, Yorion occasionally and kill like a Sharknado. I guess we don't have an answer to sharks. Grasp can't kill sharks, whereas Heartless Act can. So can Eat to Extinction and Drama Lock. Interesting. So that might be a world where you want you still want a Heartless Act or 2 over Noxious Grasp. I suppose Essence Scatter is also pretty bad. It counters Yorion, but like nothing else. Yeah, I'll cut the scatters. We'll save into Heartless Act, I guess. It's a lot of removal. Kind of sucks. Gust it literally only hits fires, and I guess Luca is pretty narrow. Let's go one scatter, one Heartless Act. I'm definitely not totally sure, but I'm not sure what they're going to bring in either. That's kind of an awkward hand. It's probably a keep, but it is pretty awkward. Not too good, sure. I mean, we are currently cold to a Teferi on 3. I don't know that, of course, but... Never mind. So we'll cycle a Naturalize or Neutralize, whatever. Bottom top, sure. It's pretty good too. Yeah. Obviously, both Narset and Teferi are very good against us. Another island? Great. Alright, now we're good. A little sketchy there for a bit, but now I think we're in decent shape. Tap land, go. Works for me. Passage, go. So, definitely want to make some land drops here. They have Omen of the Sun, which is fine. Actually, pretty annoying. These soldiers are gonna do a lot of damage over the next few turns. Like a lot. Like probably at least 10 damage, if not 14 or maybe even 20. We want them to not cast a spell. Thank God. The freedom to cast Insight here is monumental. So important. Alright. Temple of Deceit. So we now have 8 cards in hand. We can Temple and either Neutralize and Cling to Dust, or we can just Flashback Insight. I like Temple here. Let me keep it. Making land drops. I mean, yes, we already have another land, and we have a cantrip and a double draw. Making land drops is really important, but yeah, I think we're going to ship this. I think we have enough card draw to feel pretty safe about making land drops. Bottom's good. Suppose if they have like exactly land, Yori, and Mystical Dispute, we get punished. But Castle Ardenvale is annoying. Alright, so we can we're gonna Chemist Insight here. We probably just dump the Cling. We could dump an... Now they have Castle, if they're smart, they'll just make a token every turn. We gotta dig to a Field of Ruin. Let me just scatter. I mean, Honestly, Yori is really good right now. They resolve a Yori and we're probably going to lose. But it can't be Neutralize. It can't be land. It could be Commence the Endgame. It seems... It's like, you know, a huge idiot is not as good as a, you know, a 12 times not better than a 6/6. Alright, well, let's grab one of these. I think this is a little wacky, but against these never-ending Ardenvale tokens, it's not very good. Alright, we did it. Must be nice. Alright, so we'll have 4 mana available, so we can drown the Loch and scatter. We have to do this right now. We could wait. Actually, we could wait. Hold on, we could wait. They get one more token out of it. What's the hold up? You know, whatever. It's fine. All right, sure. I guess I discard a hand size. Sure. So 2 options here. We could commence and then kill the castle on our turn. Yeah, I like that. I'll have to discard a hand size again, but whatever, I guess. Chemister's insane. Certainly got a boomer. Okay, pop this. We have 5 mana left, so we have enough mana to neutralize and Tail's End, which is pretty good. Doomsday Alarm. Opponent's playing this game well. They're not really giving us an opportunity to use our spells. We're going to pitch the Chemister's Insight here. Just pitch Killing the Dust, I guess. I like that it's a cantrip, but we just kind of like want cards that, yeah, I'm going to pitch Killing the Dust here. We actually like actively want cards in the graveyard, so... So, open on Teferi. Tail's End. If we're able to push through a Teferi here, we'll probably be in trouble, but it's the name of the game, unfortunately. Alright, I guess no mystical dispute, please. Maybe we could have waited and not fielded on our turn. All right. I mean, now we're in pretty good shape. And now you get to stick a Umori probably too. So stick Umori with what? 4 islands on tap, which is worth 2 counter spells at least. Factual counterspell. One mana Essence Scatter, kind of cool. Could see an argument for like waiting one more turn and not playing Umori this turn, so you'd have 3 counter spells up, but they didn't have a backup plan for their double Teferi turn, so shatter this guy. I mean, this is certainly annoying, but I don't think it's really the end of the world. I don't want to fight over this. We draw a card, they don't too. Sure. Alright, sure. I think they're low enough on resources where we can just grind them out at this point. This deck feels like one of those like StarCraft simulations or stipulations where StarCraft's like a battle game, you know, it's like a war, and where you can never attack your opponent, only defend yourself until they give up. That's kind of what it feels like we're doing right now. Top. That could be Field of Ruin bait. We're not gonna do that. If they play Castle, we need to kill it. Castle, Ardenvale, Vantress is whatever. So it's also like, say 20% that was just bait to try and get us to use the castle, use the field. Okay. We don't really have a reason to cast the card draw spell, honestly. We'll just have to discard a hand size or something. Mystic Sanctuary is nice. Get back against the endgame. And now we have 10 mana. We can go. They have their own Commence the Endgames? Alright. Not as good as ours. It's cute. Fires. So at this point, we got to ask ourselves: does fires even matter? I don't think it does. They have 4 cards in hand. They're obviously light on gas. This doesn't matter. This is fun. We're going to counter all their business spells anyway. This means they can't play spells on our turn. So, yeah. Right. We could try an ambush here. We're not going to. Just take the 3. And Yorion. Which does mean we can't insight into endgame. It's kind of annoying. Alright. We'll just scatter here. They'll get 2 tokens off this too. Yeah, we'll just scatter here. I guess we'll kill this 3/3. Let's draw 2 first. Heh. I want to keep these Drown of Locks. They're basically just hard counter spells at this point, so just do this thing. You're up. Feels like we're mostly playing with our food at this point. Bottom, sure. Sweet. Pretty convincing match there, honestly. I mean, we should beat the best deck in the format pretty convincingly 2-0 with our Umori instance deck, which is, feels pretty nice. Feels pretty nice, you know. Obviously, whenever you build a deck in standard, the question is always, does it beat the best deck in the format? Well, there you go. We'll take it. We'll take it. Round 3. Pretty cool. This is my style deck, too. I love these obnoxious Drago control decks that literally never do anything. No way to win the game. For you old school Magic players, there were decks that used to play like mono blue, and they had 4 copies of Stalking Stones. That was a colorless land. You pay 6, it becomes a 3/3. That was their only win condition. Just awesome Magic. Opponent's playing Karungus. That's probably a good matchup for us. Although our hand's really bad. I mean, if they're playing the Karunga, they're probably just playing 60-card fires. Maybe a Temple. I guess we just keep. His hand's pretty bad, but... Or if they're playing fires, our Disfigure's terrible. Maybe we just mulligan. We can also cling our passage to draw a card if we have to. And there are some, like... I saw some Teamer Flash Karuga deck. In which case, Disfigure... That was a keep. Like most Fires players probably moved on to. Not they're just playing Fires. Alright. Alright. So our hand's not great. We should counter Magic, I think, so ship that. Might get punished here for a somewhat loosey-goosey keep. Top, bottom, bottom. Ooh, what is this? Temple of Deceit. We've been deceived. So options here, we could do Passage, just so we can guarantee a cantrip of Cling and just cling our Passage. I kind of like that. Cling the Dust is not, always a cantrip, but does some pretty good stuff. Shockland, go. Okay. I mean, obviously I have a 2-drop if I have either Bone Crusher Giant or Brazen Borrower. Sorry, folks, my allergies are, it's prime allergy season. So, alright, we're gonna get Island. Cling the Dust our land. Which is not, obviously a little anti-synergy here, but it's fine. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Need to Extinction is not great. Where do them counterspells at? So some kind of Grixis Fires deck, and we really are getting punished here for our loose keep. I was hoping they were playing something different. I was wrong. We could play Umori here. I guess we have no other play. Other play is just to like Disfigure with Bone Crusher twice or eat to Extinction it. I think it's just Umori time. Not thrilled about it, but yeah. Alright, well, they seem to have their ideal draw, unfortunately. Alright. So they're just playing like obviously. They're just playing like Cavaliers and stuff, I guess. We have 3 mana Eat, 1 mana Negate. Disfigure's not. We could double Disfigure the Sphinx, obviously, which isn't the worst, realistically, but we can do that anyway, so. It's tapped. We'll just say go. Even just casting the big Karungus here is not good for us. We're going to attempt to petty theft my Umori. Okay. Yeah, I mean, sure. Cast Karungus and draw up. They have Nicol Bolas too. Okay, well, I think we're dead. So, pretty good hand from them and pretty terrible hand from us, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping they were playing something else, and we were obviously wrong. So, feels bad, but what are you going to do? I don't think we have any outs to this board. Pretty ideal draw on their part. Yeah, we're trying to next game. Alright, so definitely not ideal. Again, I've seen that Teamer Adventure Karunga deck fairly often. I haven't seen like actual Jeskai Fires in a really long time. They're obviously playing Grixis Fires, but who could have known that? So, alright. Definitely happy with Aether Gust here. Don't want Disfigures. Heartless Act is okay. Essence Scatter's fine too, honestly. Intervention's kind of clunky. Pretty easy card to board out. This card's like pretty mediocre. I don't want a lot of Aether Gust, I think. I mean, it deals with fires. It can counter Karungus. Tail's End. Heartless Act is Tail's End. I mean, they're not playing Teferi, so counters some stuff, but not all the stuff. I think just four Gust is fine. It should probably be a good matchup for us, honestly. We're just like a slow, clunky Sorcerer Speed deck, and we're just the Flash deck, and they don't have Teferi in their deck, so should be a really good matchup for us. So definitely a really awkward game one there. Yeah, this works. I could have cut a field also, maybe. Maybe not. Playing a lot of lands. Playing 27 lands is a lot. You have a shave one sometimes. I feel it's a little grindier. Man, killing me. Oh, boy. I mean, you can do the whole Swamp Clinger Passage thing again, but this hand's pretty bad. I'm just going to mulligan. Alright, this is a lot better. Keep this, ship it Insight. Opponent keeps 7, so Mystic Sanctuary. We're going to keep that. Let's play it on turn 2. They have no 2-drops, so I would take a guaranteed land over a random card. I'm not going to get tricky with it either. We could like try and hold it maybe, but I want land 4 for Chemister's Insight real bad. So Gust, sure. Like a mouse. Okay. Are we gusting here or disputing? I think we're probably just gusting. Put it on top, sure. Dispute. We'll shock. Could play Umori here. I'm not really. I guess they play like untap, play fires and punish us, so we'll just say go. Don't feel great, but whatever. You gotta do what you gotta do. Draw land here? We did draw land. Okay, so now we can Umori with Negate or Dispute up, and that feels nice. So, obviously, the only thing they can play is a non-blue creature to resolve in the face of my Umori, and they do that, so feels bad, but sure, I suppose. Get a main phase Insight, because we want to draw lands, possibly. We don't. Alright, we're in a little trouble now. Pretty unfortunate. This could have been, like, basically literally any other card in their entire deck, and it's fine. I guess the 4/4 flyer would be a little... No, it's blue, never mind. Probably the only card in their whole deck they can cast there, actually, that we can't counter with Negate or Dispute. So, let's try and wriggle our way out of this one. Now there's a card I haven't seen in a long time. I guess we just double dispute here. If we neutralize, they can play something else that costs 3. Dispute's getting worse anyway. Alright. Thief of Sanity was a super cool card, but it completely fell out of favor because it's just absolutely terrible against Teferi Time Raveler. Okay. I mean, this is fine. Just say go. Got 2 counter spells up. Chemister's Insight. We can do all 3. Bolus, sure. Let's draw 2 in response. Just see what's up. That's not bad. So let's negate this. Heartless Act this. Take some damage. Take a few points. Untap. Mystic Sanctuary. Cool. Probably negate. So I could flashback, insight, and negate, and then also still cast neutralize. We have 3 islands, right? 1, 2, 3, yeah. So that's pretty good. Cavalier of Flame again. Sure. So let's flashback insight for posterity. 3-mana insights are nice. Sure. We'll counter us. Cling to Dust. I guess we start there just to see what's up. Exile Bolus. Take it easy, alright? Take it easy. Another Cling to Dust. 3, 1, and 2. Just main phase insight, I guess. Again. Just make a land drop, maybe. They have a gassy card here, could be in trouble. Discard Swamp. Alright, that's a brick. Scry. It's also a brick. Alright, I mean, we do have a Cling to draw a card and a negate. Legion War Boss is honestly not the scariest card of all time, so that could be worse. And we're still going to Cling in response. We could actually flash back Cling. So maybe we just yeah, this is actually just fine, I think. Doesn't really affect the board that much. Like the jump blocker next turn is annoying, but alright, flashback a Cling on I guess Mystical Dispute. Exile land, dispute, I guess? Flashback think twice. Just kind of keep referencing old cards and show them how old I am. Brazen Borrower to bounce Umori. Sure, it's pretty annoying, but Commence the Endgame. We're in the endgame now. Alright, so that's pretty awesome. Could go Umori and also endgame on their turn. Yeah. We may not end up casting endgame, but we have the option to for sure, so Thief of Sanity. Alright, I guess that's fine, right? Like, Sure. And another war boss. I think that's also fine. Now I get to safely play Commence, block 2 goblins. Didn't draw any spells. Another land. Alright, there's certainly some fear about, you know, just not drawing any spells here. That's a good one. Alright, let's attack. And let's say go. The ability to flashback Clingy Dust again, which is awesome. That little card draw engineer is pretty cool card, honestly. Alright, sure. Crank it up. Karungus the Chungus. Alright, so definitely gonna dispute this. Let's flashback Cling to Dust first though. On island. Exiling land. Act. Gust. Neutralize. I guess act. I'm just gonna exile the other Cling to Dust, right? Like, I don't need to have 2 of them. Yeah, I should have left in a different card, sure. Ooh. We can't dispute Karungus and Commence, but I think that's fine, because Commence might just kill them, so let's dispute this. Eat to Extinction? Alright, sure. Alright, cool. Much better. Much better. Much more in line with what we're looking for. And it's also pretty awesome that we have 4 Aether Gusts for their war bosses too, which is cool. Now we're on the draw. We're gonna leave a Heartless Act in, I think. Maybe not, actually. Honestly, we should have so much. We have 4 Gusts, 2 Act, 2 Drown, 2 Eats, and counterspells for all their creatures. You could also, like, I could buy a Disfigure. They have Thief of Sanity and War Boss. There's no way they're gonna, like, board those out. I actually want these Disfigures. Bring in, like, figure. Heartless Act. How we go? On the draw, we seem great. We should have a Cling to Dust, maybe. A lot of creatures. I should bring about 3 of these. Just don't lose to their creatures, you know. Like, I think that our main strategy lines up super well against their main strategy. They're just clunky sorcery stuff, and we're like instant speed counterspells. But losing to their trump cards can be definitely a way to lose. So I think I like this. I don't have any graveyard stuff, so Cling to Dust is like, it's okay, but it's not, you know, super necessary. Your opponent's Euroing and things and hitting their graveyard over and over again is pretty cool, but opponent has mulliganed. Our hand is not great, honestly, but I don't think we can mulligan it. I'm gonna keep. We can cycle neutralize if we have to. Like, worst case scenario, so they just like slam a Thief of Sanity and we just like can't find an answer for a few turns, which would be really, really awful for us, but I mean, I guess that could be a thing that happens. Alright, boss is not nearly as bad, so right on time, right on time. Okay. We are somewhat struggling to draw lands, but Let's Aether Gust this. They have like land fires here. We're probably going to be in trouble, but I mean, maybe we could have mulliganed. Our hand sort of played out the way it played out. Thief Sanity too? Oh, we have Eat to Extinction and Drown the Loch, so. Alright, we need to neutralize. Draw a card. Draw land, good. They do have land number 4. Where are my Disfigures at? You know, I brought these Disfigures in for a reason. You know, not because they're fun. Right, we have to kill this, so. If they untap and resolve Bolus, we're probably going to lose. But we cannot let Thief hit us at all. So, top card Disfigure. No. Second Black Source, 6th land. We don't currently have an answer to the War Boss, though. Wait, did they bottom it? Where'd the War Boss go? We know they played a Scribe. We should know if they put it on the bottom or the we knew it was on top, and then we should know if it's bottom or top. Thanks, Arena. Appreciate that. How was it have been this? It's Carver Cling to Dust too, realistically. No, well, they clearly put it on top, I guess. It's annoying, but sure. And commence the endgame. Okay. Can we draw a Disfigure? That'd be pretty cool. This is a terrifying turn for us. Come on, Disfigure. Speed actually wasn't that bad. That wasn't actually. I mean, it's terrible. They have fires. Never mind. Oh, we're in trouble. Maybe I should have 4 Disfigures in my deck, I guess. Fires number 2. Oh, wow. No land. Man. Blessed. Okay. Ouch. Yeah, they can't play spells on our turn, so. Now we have Counterspell up. Try and crawl our way back into this one. They have 2 spells in hand and a Krungus. Ooh, that's bad. It's kind of weird they didn't cycle that on their turn. Try and draw land 5. Oh, they drew land 5. Oh my god. I think we're dead. Yeah, I don't. Maybe we should have mulliganed. I don't know. Maybe we should have brought in the 4th Disfigure too. I mean, I feel like we've actually boarded really, really intelligently and just kind of like got totally punished, which stinks, obviously. And their hand has also been pretty good, but we're just dead. Doesn't matter. Yeah. All right. It did not even matter. But I guess it didn't even matter. Once I settled the Shark, we were just dead anyway. Yeah, alright. I guess we screwed that game up. Definitely does not feel like a matchup we should lose, basically, ever. Given the context of the cards they're playing. Like, if we have 4 Disfigure, like, I don't see how they could beat us. But sure. Alright, next match. Next match. This is definitely not an easy deck to play. You really are operating on very thin margins at all times, and you're not going to get bailed out ever. You know, there's no, like, oopsie, here's my, you know, whatever, dumb Hydro Crisis or whatever, you know, Nissa shakes the world, blah, you know, like big powerful thing happening. You really gotta like juck and jive at all times, you know, and really poke in and pick your spots and not really make any mistakes. So maybe we should mulligan that game. Maybe that one's on us. Kurungus again? Alright. Hand's not great. It's like fine. I'm just gonna keep. Alright. More standard fires deck, it looks like. I don't know if Kurungus was so popular. Man, we stink. Bluff a Negate or something like that. Hope they don't cast the fairy. I don't know why they wouldn't, but you know, we have literally nothing, so tap line go, alright. Heh! That's hilarious. Alright, so yeah, I mean get stomped. Alright. Definitely not playing Umori here. That would be insane. We got 2 cards in the bin, which is not ideal for Drown Loch. Might be a rough turn for us. See what they do. Sure. Could have been worse, for sure. Could have been much, much worse than that. And now I get to draw some cards. Hopefully get this hand cleaned up here. Gate, Clean Dust, Essence Scatter. Scatter's not the worst. Gonna end up clinging ourselves again here. We could also just go Umori with Scatter and Negate up. I actually kinda like that. That's pretty nice. And then we could put a Negate on top, maybe. They are playing like creatures too, but yeah, I don't want to commit to putting the Negate on top, but I think I definitely like just playing Umori here. All our bases covered here, you know. 1 blue, counter a creature spell or a non-creature spell. Cavalier Flame, love it. And there's your big tempo swing, folks. There it is. Now I got 3 in the bin. And we can put that Essence Scatter on top, which I actually really like. 1, 2, 3, yep. So put Essence Scatter on top. Got our bases covered again. And we're not attacking. Just so you go. So Chemister's Insight, draw the Essence Scatter. Scatter that. I could have disputed it too, but whatever. Any reason to cling? Not really. I guess we just do it. Alright, so 5 mana for Commence the Endgame. Where's that attack here? Kenny the King, huh? Mana leak that, right? Yeah. And watch them attack until I commence the endgame. Corner turned. It's the power of Umori in this deck. You know, like, those 2 tempo turns were just insane, and now you have a threat too. Deafening Clarion resolves. Cool. Nice clean game there. Nice clean game. Okay, so Gusts again for sure. I mean, they're probably gonna have War Bosses or Robber the Rich. Actually, no, they're playing Krungus, so they can't have Robber the Rich. They could have War Boss though, but I don't know if they have that. We have Gusts already. Let's cut those 2 Disfigures. Let's shave a Cling. Honestly, maybe there's not any Clings. Honestly, I mean the intervention's bad too, so cut that. This is 60 cards. Tail's End. It counters Teferi, and it counters Krungus, and counters a few things. Kenrith, it's not great. Disfigure, Grasp, Intervention. It's just fun. Just keep Teferi off of the table. Sure. Dispute's the big one here. Scryland's nice too, so good Dispute for a possible Teferi. Negate's good too. Heartless Act. I think we just play Swamp here and say go. I want to have Dispute and Negate in case they have like Teferi plus Dispute or some sort of shenanigans. Exactly. Alright, not a bad exchange. Maybe untap. Alright, we drew Neutralize. If we didn't draw Neutralize, we were probably going to cast Umori and maybe get punished for it, but Neutralize, obviously. Well, these cards are hard to say. It's like so similar to like so many other cards. But, alright, there's tap, say go. Oh wow, no 4th land. Jeez. Mystic Sanctuary. Only 2 islands in play, though. So let's get the 3rd island in play. And, just pass the old turn ski. Yeah, I mean, Fire is definitely a pretty chunky deck. Getting stuck on 4 lands with a bunch of cards in hand is definitely a possibility, sure. Alright, so we're going to play Mystic Sanctuary. Get back. I think Mystical Dispute. Giving back their mana screwed, so do that. Take action, say go, and now we have counterspell into counterspell if they cast a spell. If they don't play anything, we have Commence the Endgame. They have a Brazen Borrower. That's interesting. I think it's fine though. Okay, we have Heartless Act floating around, so. There's land number 5. Nothing. Interesting. Could have a second Borrower here, which would be a little annoying, I guess, but we still draw 2, so. Okay. say go. Sure. We love this. Don't want to Heartless Act this Brazen Bar? No, I don't think so. Feeling pretty good here. We're a little bit flooded, but... And it's concerning because they obviously have 5 spells in their hand, so... You know, but we have a 6/6 in play, so we should be able to ride that to victory. Top bottom, sure. These creature removal spells are basically counter spells for creatures too, so they play like Kenrith or whatever. Wow. Alright, untap. That's a pretty good draw. I go Shark Typhoon for 1. So no big deal here. This is fine. And I feel pretty safe about resolving our Umori. We'll have Dispute Counterspell up, or removal spells. That feels nice. Shrug. Shatter the Sky. We are not going to allow that one. And I think we're just going to mana leak it off a Dispute. I want to keep this Neutralize or Neutralize. I just can't say it. I just cannot say the word. Going to throw a Dispute here, which is fine. We just Dispute back and then untap with a counterspell and lethal in place, or lethal over 2 turns, but... So we'll Dispute back. And we'll Heartless Act this Brazen Borrower. I guess? I don't really need to, but it is clocking us. So let's not get cheesed out. Sure. Alright, I mean, you're at 2 and I've got 2 creatures in play and I have a counterspell, so... They go like land... I don't know if they can have, actually, because they can't have any card that costs 2, so... Like, you know, land Wrath Dovin's Veto. Fire's Invention. Or nah. Alright. Nice clean match there. Nice clean victory after that last one. So yeah, I mean, this deck is super sweet. We did go 2 and 2. That's obviously not the best result, but I'm pretty sure if we played both of our losses optimally, we would have won at least one of them. Definitely, decks like this are very, very tricky to play, and they really punish mistakes, which sounds like it's a bad thing, but honestly, learning how to play a deck like this is really, really good for your development as a Magic player. Decks like this don't come around very often anymore. Like the pure, actual, scrappy Drago control deck without the like Dream Trawler or Teferi Hero of Dominaria or whatever, without the real dumb card that kind of like just gives you wins. And this deck's honestly been pretty sweet. I've actually been very, very impressed with this deck. Umori's excellent. Commence the Endgame's been very, very good. Very happy with Mystic Sanctuary. Deck's just been awesome. Just a super, super cool deck. And we're actually playing down a Sideboard card. What did I do? Did I cut a Sideboard card by accident? I must have saw 14. I thought it was the Umori was here, but it actually counts the 14. Let's add a Negate to the Sideboard, I guess. Oopsie. That's actually hilarious. So yeah, we went 2 and 2 with a 14 card Sideboard. But yeah, deck's definitely super fun. If you love Drago control decks, and if you love countering spells, and if you love not winning the game, if you love just drawing cards and then drawing more cards and then drawing more cards, your opponent goes, I give up. This is the deck for you. Super creative deck, super cool use of Umori. Also, on a side note, is part of the mechanic for companions is your opponent knows your companion before the game. If they see Umori, they're going to assume you're playing like a dumb creature beatdown deck. So that can make them keep a lot of hands that are really bad against you, double Shadow of the Sky and things like that. So super cool deck, super fun, super tricky, super clever. I love it. Give it a try. Give it a spin, of course. Umori instance. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? I'm Jim Davis, of course, for CoolStuffInc.com. Don't forget to go to CoolStuffInc.com again to read the companion article to this video, as well as my article from last Friday. Great free content every weekday. No paywall. Love it. And, of course, promo code Jim5 for 5% off your order on CoolStuffInc.com. And you get a free Jim Davis Goblin token with your order, too. So, Jim Davis Goblin token, 5% off your order. Best content on the internet. No paywall. Sign me up. CoolStuffInc.com. I'll see you folks next week, all right? Have fun commencing the end game over and over again, which doesn't really make sense, I guess. But thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate it.